I'm going to tell you guys 5 life lessons from Celebrity Aquarians.
Yes, you're brilliant.
In honor of the Aquarius new moon. And I learned a lot in researching this, so I hope you guys do too. So the biggest thing as an Aquarius is that they think outside the box. So look at Harry Styles, for an example. He is an Aquarius. He is, I think the first boy bander in the Western world, at least, to be overtly gender bending and talking about gender fluidity and everything. They put him in this boy band box and he put a dress on it. So that is like just a great lesson for all of us. Another Aquarian who thinks outside the box, obviously, is Guy Fieri.
Wow.
He invented this thing called Guy-Talian fondue dippers. It is pepperoni wrapped breadstick twists with smoky provolone and sausage cheese dip. The sausage is in the dip.
Whoa. I wonder, that's a Todd. I bet you the only person here that knows about that is Todd.
Look, yes.
Yeah.
That's dope.
And he's charging $14 for it. So he's killing it. So think outside the box. He's got gold tongs. I mean, you know what else I learned about Guy Fieri? He's not even a chef.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
He's a restaurant manager.
What? What?
The balls.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he was never a chef. Like, he never went to culinary school. He managed restaurants and then decided to just like inflict this insanity on us for the last 10 years.
Okay, so I don't know. At the very beginning, we were talking a little bit about like what it means, like what the word quantum means and what quantum shifting means, quantum leaping. Going from restaurant manager to Guy Fieri, as we know him, is what we call a quantum shift into a different timeline. Very good data.
Crazy, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I've worked in a lot of restaurants and the managers are the weirdest people alive.
Well, it's like, they're like, you're in my home. Like, they're in their house.
Yeah. Sexual harassment, everything. But that's off topic. So this lesson number 4 comes from all of the Aquarius musicians, because this is going to blow all of your minds. What I've learned from Aquarius musicians is pay no attention to the laws of popularity. Whatever you think is going to be popular, turn left.
Wow, Molly, you're so... Molly, I didn't help Molly with this at all. She asked me for help. I ignored her completely. I never get back to anything. Molly, this is better than this is what I needed. Thank you so much. Wow.
Like, look at Alicia Keys. If you said, oh, I'm going to take piano-led R&B and be one of the top-selling recording artists of all time and stay on the top for like 15, 20 years, in the early 2000s when everything was being dominated by like party pop and hip hop, you would have been like, there's no way. But she's had one of the most successful careers in our generation.
Wow, dude. That is
Bob Marley literally brought reggae to the awareness of so many cultures that didn't know about it already. Like, if you had said to a record executive back in the 70s, oh, there's this new genre called reggae, and you played it for them, they would be like, no. And he proved them wrong. Ed Sheeran, controversial. Basically, he has no right to be as popular as he is. But
True.
The Weeknd made up a new genre. He put it on SoundCloud. It blew up. And now he's done the Super Bowl.
No. And then he did that weird face that like everybody has plastic surgery, like Band-Aids thing. That was so Aquarius.
The Weeknd also used to be homeless.
Okay, very Aquarius.
Wow. Yeah, he's just like, you would never predict that he was going to be huge. You know what I mean? Like, even when he first came out, his first single, like, it was sort of outside the box. It was sort of different. And if you said to me, is this guy going to play the Super Bowl solo one day? I would have been like, no. And speaking of Super Bowl, Shakira.
Wow.
Who was doing her type of music? Who was doing Spanish language music? Who was doing non-Anglophone music in the US when she came out? Like, no one.
Dude.
And she just like blew everything up and disrupted the whole system. So this is the lesson to take from Aquarius musicians. Do what you want to do. Don't pay attention to what all the other genres are, and the rest of the world will probably follow.
Hell yeah.
Okay, don't let your peers, colleagues, or friends hold you back. This is a nice way of saying be a little bit of a lone wolf weirdo and just don't really pay attention to everybody else. So like Jennifer Aniston, she was the breakout star of the cast of Friends. Harry Styles, breakout star of One Direction. Michael Jordan, breakout star of all the teams he was on. Justin Timberlake, devil, but still
we'll talk about
managed to break out of NSYNC, even though he was not the most talented one.
Well, I mean, we could talk about that too.
And we're mad at him right now because of the Britney documentary. Yeah, so the message though is like, whatever group you're in, like it's a shady message, but don't feel bad about rising above them, and don't feel like you have to tamp your own like crazy Aquarius energy down so that you can make the rest of them feel comfortable and like have the confidence to go outside of that group.
That's what's up, Molly. Do
needed that one.
Thank you.
Damn.
Okay, so there's something about Aquarians that scares me a little, just because they are so poised and like just so together and so with it. And it's just like almost a little humorless in a way. And I don't know, they just intimidate me. Like Kerry Washington, Michael B. Jordan, Jennifer Aniston, John Travolta. I just feel like they're all so in control of every situation and they know exactly what they're doing. And I don't know really what the message is, but it's just
fairly poised and in control. That's so. Can I ask you? Can you do a little bit of just clarifying for me? What's the difference between someone who's like so you're a Capricorn, and this is maybe the most controlled segment on the Moon Wheel that we couldn't even imagine doing a PowerPoint. I don't even know how to do a PowerPoint. I didn't even remember they existed until you said, "Can I do a PowerPoint?" So you've got a great deal of poise and control, which to me is a little scary. So what's the difference between that? But I'm grateful. I need that. But what is the difference between like Capricorn scary or Capricorn poised and in control, but not scary? What about the Aquarian poised and control is like scary?
I think it's because you can tell that the Aquarians, not only are they poised and in control, but they have this expansive knowledge of like other universes and crazy shit. And they're also managing to function perfectly within this society. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas with a Capricorn, I don't think we're as scary because I know how much anxiety governs our lives, like just from being in my own head.
Right. So, Capricorns care a lot about what people think and about governing and about popularity. And so like Capricorns are like listening to the polls and changing their opinion. The Aquarians are like, fuck no.
Yeah.
You're lucky that I'm here.
Right. Aquarians are just like, I know a secret. I know what's going on. I'm not going to tell you because you're an idiot.
Totally.
And I'm going to channel it into like supreme success. And you're not even going to know really how or why I'm this. Like Jennifer Aniston's not good at acting. I'm sorry.
Facts.
Right. But you're so right that they have that certain something that like they are the stars, but like none of these people are stars.
Right. Well, I think Michael B. Jordan has that movie star charisma out of all four of these people. Yeah. And John Travolta. I don't know. I think
he's pretty shitty too.
Yeah, there's something so weird about him. There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
I don't know that. Don't quote me on that. But like to me, he does seem like.
Yeah. And then there's this next level where some of them are just scary. Christian Bale and Ellen are both Aquarians.
Oh,
I don't.
shit.
Yeah, I don't know, Sarah. Maybe you can weigh in on whether their weirdness and scariness of like literally abusing people in the workplace, if that is maladjusted Aquarius behavior or like shadow self. What's the deal with that? Do you know?
Well, I'll throw it over to Nicole in a second because she is an Aquarius psychopath herself. But what I know is that it's like I feel like the Aquarians are so scary because they really like Cancer. I'm a Cancer Capricorn, and like I care deeply that we are connected. And like, so you're safe with me because even if I'm lying to you, you are going to leave feeling like everything's great. Like I want everyone to feel better. Aquarians are like, they don't even give a fuck that you are alive. Aquarians like break up with you and never speak to you again. And you're like, what's actually wrong with you? I've actually hypothesized that I think if we did a research study and maybe we can get funding for this, does anyone write grants? This is important work. I literally think that autism is like directly related to Aquarian energy. Like I think everybody that has like autism,
That'd be really fascinating to
Asperger's
see.
has Aquarius in their chart because Aquarius is like so social and like it's like so a part of and up high looking at the collective and sort of like seeing the group and seeing humanity, that they don't take shit that like personally or seriously, and they can just like detach, which like as Capricorns, both of our charts, Molly, we are like hanging in there. So it's kind of like, what do you mean detached? But like, yeah, it's interesting. Like Aquarians are like I've always been scared if a guy that I was dating had a lot of Aquarius in his chart, because like the thought of not being texted back is like so painful in the first place. And the Aquarians will never text you back, even if you're like meeting, and even if you need to know something from them, they'll find a way to be like, I did get back to you. And you're like, but you literally didn't. Like I have texts, I have my phone, I am like actually alive and awake, and like, so you telling me that you messaged doesn't make any sense because there's no message. And they're like, yeah, but I told you. And they're like, that doesn't. So they don't have any accountability to like being on Earth, because they're like doing it's what the Aquarius is, right? It's the water bearer. So the water is the emotions, the feelings, the people. The water bearer is kind of just the sink, you know. It sort of just like needs to keep it together so that the water isn't actually just everywhere and completely unuseful. Does that make sense, Nicole? What are your thoughts as a sink yourself?
Oh yeah, definitely. So I mean, the thing about the Aquarius that makes them scary is that, you know, if you have strong Aquarius energy, you're not afraid to break somebody's whole matrix. You just you want to do it. We want to do it all the time, I will say. We want to. And it takes the growing and the understanding that not everyone is ready. And so we have to grow into the care and learn, right? This is why we progress, or Aquarius energy progresses into Pisces, to then be connected to everybody, because we're so over there that it's like, hey, if you guys don't want to catch up, I just don't care. And that's why they become so successful and famous, because they, unlike the Capricorn, they don't care about who and what and where and what paradigm is about to like compress and fall apart. They just go, well, I mean, at this point, it's whoever survives. And Capricorn could kind of do that, but in a way where they will still put out the image as well, that, well, we're going to help you through this process. We're going to give you another option. But then ultimately, Capricorn doesn't care if you survive either, but they're there.
They want credit for saying that they tried to help you survive.
Yeah, and then Aquarius is like, I don't even care. I don't even care.
I think I was trying to make sense of the whole water bearer thing while I was making this presentation, because I was just like, what is a water bearer? What does that even mean? And now I think I get it. I think at least with celebrity Aquarians and people who work in show business and in front of an audience, the water is the general public, and the Aquarius is sort of knowing how to just control and carry that. Like, if look at Ellen, look at how successful she was at bearing that water, at controlling that public image, and just being able to like push and pull the levers until she got exactly where she wanted. All of these people on this screen, they have had methodical, planned out careers that weren't so much going up a ladder like Capricorn, but were more so like steady pulling in world domination. And I think for people who aren't in entertainment or aren't in show business, that water might be something else. It might not be like the public and society. It might, I don't know. Does that make sense?
Oh, it makes perfect sense. And it's the containment of the emotions, which is water, right? So we see all the emotions, we feel all the emotions, and then we're able to disrupt that and also give those emotions to certain people or to everyone to spill it. So it's a lot of control. It is. And even when Aquarians are going off the rockers, it is methodical. It is strategic. They are that psychotic to show as if it's crazy, but then reel it back in, that poise that you were talking about, and then make it make sense. And that's why then people have no choice but to then follow along, because it really is that crazy. I mean, Charles Manson, Aquarius moon as well, Scorpio though. So, I mean, he was doing some crazy shit, and it was really him controlling other people to kill, but on some psychotic nature, he knew how to channel that chaos correctly for himself. It is scary.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this: I don't really have any, and then we can move on. I know everyone like has things to do, and I don't want our next act. Like everyone's like, I will go back to starting at like 3 p.m. and they'll still end at 11. So my bad. But I'll just say this: that like, so my Mercury is in Leo, but my midheaven, so the height of my career is in Aquarius, and that never made sense to me when I first started studying astrology. I was like, but I'm the star, aren't I the best? Aren't I the talent? I just want to be a movie star, or whatever it was I was saying. At one point, I wanted to be president. I don't know. I had phases, but it was always like me as the star. And then when I really started to learn astrology and understand my chart, aside from, Aquarius represents astrology. Aquarius represents this cosmic connection. It's, but also it is like other people and it is the collective. So now I look at my life and this new moon is like on my midheaven. It's like right in my career. And it's like, oh, it's not that like I'm the star and I do all the plays. It's that I use my star power to bring everybody together. And actually I'm here to build community, and I'm here to use my Capricorn talent, not to like be the star necessarily, although please give me all the credit, but it's like to actually allow you to stand on me so that we all actually, like, I understand that the water rises together, and I would never want to do can you imagine me just doing like a solo show like every month, just like me for 5 hours? Like, no, it's way better with everybody here, and like all I want to do is hang out. So like I'm not an Aquarius at all, and I have all sorts of touchy-feely, you better text me back energy. But in terms of my career, it's like, hey, come when you want, leave when you want, who the fuck cares, right? No rules. It's Aquarius. So that really is like, my career is scary sloppy, but it's not sloppy. Somehow I, as a comedian, have a functional business right now, whereas the other comedians they have nothing but Zoom shows. No offense, the park, So things work out for the Aquarians when they do the crazy shit that everyone tells them not to do. And everybody told me not to do this. And we'll talk about it later or not. I'm sure you heard, I only have like 3 stories. So you're sick of me by now. But anyway, back to Molly. But I hope that clarifies things. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
Excellent.
Okay, the number one final tip is, sorry, I covered it by accident. Use a mix of discipline, intelligence, and innovative thinking to dominate your chosen field. So all these people are at the absolute top of their field. I had to save Oprah for last because obviously she's the best.
Dude, she's like the, like, when like anybody who's an Aquarius is like, Oprah's an Aquarius. Like she's like the banner. Everyone's she's on the cover of Aquarius magazine too. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I feel like she is the end all be all alpha and omega of Aquarians, because when she first started her career, everyone told her, no, it's not going to work. No one will ever hire you. You're never going to be like a daytime TV star. And she became the biggest one in history.
Yeah, everyone told her no, right? Oh my God, Molly, you bring that together for me. Right. That was like her whole story, that like everyone told her no. Yeah. And Michael Jordan too. I think for a while he actually was not the GOAT.
But he actually didn't make the high school varsity team.
Oh, that's
when he was in high school. Yeah.
Right. That was the thing.
He got cut from the team in North Carolina, and then still ended up getting a full ride to Chapel Hill. Like that's the thing that like made him really work hard, and honestly probably made him what he is today. It's crazy.
I mean, I just want to say, Molly. No, but you actually outlined the moon you got to go first every time. I'm not preparing like this. This is fabulous. Really good work. Wait, I gotta get my face out of the spotlight. I'm trying to re-spotlight you. Fuck my. It's like, keep going, keep going.
No, I think that's the end. Oh, this is my last thing. Aquarians know they're destined for greatness, and they never ever doubt it. That's the thing. Look at all these people. They all said, I am doing this. Like, no one can tell me that I'm not. I'm just going to do it. And they worked hard at it. And they had long, methodical plans to get all that water in their jug so that they could walk around and control it. And once in a while,
excellent work,
something malfunctions, like with Ellen. And I don't know why that is, but
certain transits, maybe.
Molly, let's do a diva behavior on Ellen. I think that would be really, I could talk. There's just, I'm sure she has like Scorpio in her chart. I'm sure she just, Aquarius mixed with Scorpio, no offense, anybody here. It's just like, it can be very like, it's almost like, just to take no prisoners. Like,
Yeah.
So I feel like that she has a real like she's like doing stuff in the underworld, and I mean in the nicest way. I mean that powerfully. She's demonic and powerful and very, very funny. So we love her for that. Molly, That was fucking incredible. Does anybody have any questions, comments for Molly? Throw your shit in the chat. We hope you stay now that you don't think it's 2 a.m. What a relief.
I know. I'm so relieved. I was so confused.